was inquisitive to have a chit chat with you for multiple reasons.
That's what I understand. Being consistent is not easy today, especially in today's world. I've seen a lot of learners, and I appreciate the efforts that you're taking. All of us are learners. I'm happy that we are able to connect this way. And so
Here I
that's
am.
great to listen to your learning.
Hmm.
So I have a word. Can I do a small activity with you? It's something very
Yeah,
simple.
definitely. Sure.
Okay. So can you read this word? I hope it's clear.
Conversation,
Okay, it's
conversation,
conversation. Okay,
conversation.
conversation, and you can
Yeah,
see that A is in caps, capital letter.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, so there you give the stress, little bit of stress. So when you take words, you may
Conversation.
have to conversation. Okay,
Yeah,
conversation. Of course, when you read it, when you speak, you may say conversation. It depends on the tone. But otherwise, when you take the word separately, it's conversation, conversation. And this is
conversation. Converse, converse.
converse.
Yeah,
Converse. So today it's just a guideline. When I speak to a lot of learners, people who are fluent also say conversation, which is wrong. It's conversation, conversation, and converse. So something that I've noticed about you is you told me, of course, that I'm quite nervous. Even I'm nervous when I speak to people for the first time. You won't believe it. But can you give me 2 or 3 tips that calms you down? How do you manage the conversation with ease? See, English is a tool, language is a tool. So, of course, it's because of all that you have been doing. But can you give 3 guidelines, 2 or 3 guidelines that helps you to calm down, to manage the conversation to the best of your abilities? How do you do it? Three
like
concrete tips for
so far
beginners
as
and
this
intermediate learners.
conversation, so far as this our conversation is concerned, I simply reminded myself that the person sitting on the other side is exactly like me. We are the learners of two different levels, but I feel there is no word like perfection exists in a real sense, because so far as language learning, or I think learning anything is concerned, these are unending processes. It is a different story. I'm a few steps below you and you are at upper steps. So with this feeling, I calm down myself. Hardly matters, suppose if I'm taking pauses because words were not coming at that time inside my mind because of that nervousness. So when I just you know, talk to myself like, Kawaljit, hardly matters. Okay, you are taking some time. It's okay. What maximum will happen? You will start making errors. This is the only thing. But at the same time, then I try to pacify myself by saying, you are educated. Though you don't have the practice, but theoretically you are aware of it. Okay, take some time and things will become normal. So I think, because when I started talking to you, even no word was inside my mind. I was totally blank initially, frankly speaking, and my heart was going this way. But it is just a language. Hardly matters if we make mistakes. And moreover, because if I'm sitting before in front of a professional, I feel it is a responsibility of the professional also to rectify my errors and to
Yeah,
boost up my
true.
morale. I always take the conversation that way also. That conversation is always two ways. It's a talk.
Yes,
It's not
true.
only one person is talking. And suppose
Hmm.
if I'm at your place, sorry to say, and somebody who is as compared to me is of very basic level learner, and if the person is keeping on making mistakes, might be the person is getting nervous, then I think it's I take it as my responsibility as well to bring that person to at ease also. So
Yeah.
these kinds of thoughts were there inside my mind, and this way I think the things go
Yes.
on, they work.
Right, right. So that was great. Okay, so these are some of the things that people also can keep in mind when they speak to new faces. So
Yeah,
let me take this word. This is a common problem. So familiar, okay,
familiar.
familiarity, being familiar. So we meet unfamiliar faces. We don't meet people whom we know all the time. But you are familiar with the language, but not familiar with the face. Let's take it as face. Okay, face A. Whether the person is a professional or advanced learner or a beginner, I'm not familiar with you. That creates anxiety in me, even when I speak in my mother tongue. Okay, and the art of conversation, as you exactly mentioned, beautifully put. It's a two-way process. You have a bridge. One person keeps speaking, the other person may get bored, or the person may show signs, cues of not being interested. Okay, so here it's for a purpose that we are here, and that's there. So conversing, and the conversation that you had, and taking everything as an opportunity. So everything, whether it's YouTube or whether whatever you do every day, is considered as an opportunity. So I'm just giving you three words. One is conversation, one is opportunity, and the other one is familiar, being familiar. Okay, so can you just tell me something connecting these words? Any tip, any guideline, or even a small instance using these words to throw some thought on people who are listening? Familiar, conversation, opportunity.
And
because
familiar.
we all are here, yes, we all are here for learning English. So these three words could give some guideline, even just one guideline connecting all these
Conversation,
words.
opportunity. I think I don't know what is going inside your mind when you have asked me this question. But for
Let's
me,
see
if I
how it
take
goes.
these three words, I would like to say that every conversation, whenever this is an opportunity for me to grow, because when
Yeah,
anybody puts in the request that he or she wants to have conversation with me, the person is not familiar to me, but I always grab it as an opportunity. And if the person with whom I talk is of a higher level, so far as this language is concerned, that person gives me something at the end of the conversation. And if that person belongs to a bit lower level, and if that person is getting something from me, even then, in both the cases, every conversation ends up giving me something. So
yeah,
whether not whether person, in all the cases, it's not I'm not familiar with the person. The bond is formed during the conversation only. We get to know about each other
exactly.
because, as we said, that non-verbal cues, even the vibes coming from that aura, you can say, that reflects a lot. So by the end of the conversation, I feel the
Yes,
unfamiliar faces, they become familiar. You become familiar with the some aspect of personality of that person. So I don't know
exactly.
what I have said,
Yes.
but whatever was coming
Yes,
inside my
but it
mind.
makes a lot of sense. That's what I had in my mind, and I think I had put that in a very encapsulated form earlier. So the attempt, okay. So you told in the beginning I was scared initially. I had the fear. The attempt you make. Now you have been a learner of the language for quite some time, right? But let's keep that aside. The attempt you make opens a door to that opportunity. You make use of that opportunity, and whatever is unfamiliar becomes familiar. You're familiar with this conversation, you're familiar with the language, but gathering the knowledge, words, and then making it pleasing or making it appealing, or at least to the point when it's required, is the art. It is a skill. That's where the skill comes in, right? Okay. So would
Nice.
you like to get a short feedback?
Um, sure.
Or is it
As a
or is
learner,
it okay with the guy? As a
as a
I
learner,
mean, yes,
yeah,
anything,
yes,
anything.
yes, yes, definitely. Now I'm in that state of mind that I can say something. That in the
Okay.
beginning I was totally blank, and I would like to disclose this to you, because otherwise, in the normal routine, I never make any efforts, because I'm always confident that okay, I know I can go along with the this discussion, whatever be the content of the conversation. But
Exactly.
today I did homework. Frankly speaking, when I was going to my office, I was talking to myself as if you can ask me this thing or that thing. Even when I was back from my work, I repeated the same things. It may be the question may come to me this way, or this thing is in my mind. I'm going to ask you this thing. But before it was about to start. Everything was, out of my mind, that whatever effort I had made earlier. But yes, you made me feel so comfortable. You're a very good listener. I was talking to you in a shattered way with the broken language from bits and part, I think, but you are listening to me very patiently, and you gave me encouragement also. You appreciated my efforts as well, as so far as my trajectory of this learning is concerned. So that way, I had two things in my mind. Might be it goes very well, or might be it ends up proving a flop at my, because of me, not because of you, because of me. Because if you are not prepared, then whatever you get, you are okay with that. But if you are prepared and you have some expectations, and if the things don't come up as per your expectations, then that gives you lots of disappointment. But I'm happy that I could have this session with you uh, without any, disruptions, or I could normalize myself, and I could
Yeah.
convey you what was there inside my mind. And you gave me beautiful tips as well. And I'm happy with this. That this is a sort of accomplishment for me. It could have been flop show also. I was scared of it. That might be Kawaljit. It may fall flat because of you. Because whenever you get confused, ultimately, I'm a Punjabi person where the whole day we converse in our Punjabi language, and this is the only time when I get the opportunity to converse. And by
Yeah.
going through one of your videos before the beginning of this conversation, I was quite familiar with this thing. The what the kind of limitations we have, why the people they fail to, in spite of having these kinds of conversation, they fail to come up to some, accomplishment, you can say. So so many things were there, but I'm happy with this conversation. That
Yeah. So
this is a great opportunity for me, that I landed up talking to a right person. I gave you a hint in my mail that these days I'm trying to select the faces. So select the faces, what not the outlook. Faces mean my, during my journey on YouTube, whenever it's possible for me to have a sneak peek of some videos, then automatically you get to know what is the level of the person. So that was the reason when we were again and again asking, and I was giving reply to you, that for me, these faces mean, okay, this is a person I must talk to at least once in my life. I must talk to this person. And if you remember my very first email, I think I started with, should I get myself registered, enrolled on Clapingo on platform to talk to you?
yes, yes, I
Eh,
remember. I remember.
Yes.
Okay. So, to be very frank, see, I'm taking off from where you left. That is, I have already told that you're quite consistent, and that showed. Maybe you were prepared in the morning, but you went blank. This happens with me also. And you were broken in thoughts. To be very frank, that did not come up. It was not shown. You spoke with confidence, the body language. I didn't feel any sense of fear or nervousness, though you were repeatedly telling me, I'm nervous, I'm nervous. I was like, okay, this is also one way of nervousness, but you managed it very well. See, you're gifted with this art of conversation. Even if you call me an expert, but there are learners who don't make me comfortable. Lot of the
Yeah.
trainers tell me that we share with each other. So whatever you are, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You have this, you're gifted with this art of conversation. And also listening is a very important skill. Even you have got that skill. So I think with all these basic skills, you have already become a very good conversationalist. Only thing is, maybe you have to work on your pronunciation here and there, bit here and there, the a sound. Otherwise, you're beautifully navigating through your sentences. You choose your words very well. The choice of words, I should say. It's beautifully done. And on the spot, you're able to remove that one word and put the right word. See, that is also the skill that you have got because of the consistency. So when you listen to your conversation, you will know, oh, I could have done it better there. Maybe that was a mistake as a learner. But otherwise, the conversationalist is already there. You've got the built in the communication skills. So just work on your pronunciation, a little bit of articulation. I mean, you have already reached a stage where you can correct yourself. I don't think that I have to give you all those guidelines. But because of this two-way conversation, I think I have also learned a lot. I have learned about your journey, which will help many people. I can also speak about this to other learners and to myself. It can become a part of my journey. And it's an honor to connect with you. And the level doesn't matter. We are connecting today. We have connected today because of this language and because of the technology and everything. It's the passion that brings us together. Yes. So anything else?
I'm speechless now. I'm so
Right.
so happy, elated, you
I'm,
may
I'm
say.
happy. I'm happy that you're happy and that it was productive for both of us.
Yes,
So I think I'll
yes.
stop the recording here. And
Thank you. Thank you.
yes, it was
Thank
nice
you for
talking to you.
giving me your precious time.
No problem. I mean, I should
And
thank you for that.
I have learned this Zoom app also, because this is my very first conversation going this way. For the first time,
Yeah.
I'm talking to somebody on this PC, and frankly speaking, I have borrowed this. I actually don't have the PC. I used to have my talks only on my phone. After going through the YouTube videos, I got to know that there is no provision of recording, making recording, and sending request on the Android phone. This is possible
Okay.
only on PC. So then I managed to get a
Yes.
PC. Then today I took my PC to the college, and I learned it from the somebody from the computer department. Okay, just tell me. Then we had a small exercise. So that way I prepared myself for this conversation.
Great. Hats off to you for your effort. I can see that when you speak. Even if you hadn't told me this, I can really sense the kind of interest and passion you have. I mean, you're not sitting idle or you're not jobless. You have a lot of things at the back of your mind. But the effort that you take, the way you send me emails, that was also inspiring. Like, why don't we have a conversation? Come on. It's only because of my readers, I'm an author, and my learners that I have a YouTube channel today. They keep me
Yeah.
going. So I thank each one like you. You know, it's great. It's a great opportunity for me as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye.
Bye bye.